Give it up for Dave, everybody. What a great thing he put together here tonight. Is it wrong to advertise your yard sale at a support group for hoarders? Thank you. When I get dressed this morning, I ask myself, what would Giselle wear if she were Roseanne? I went with black because it's slimming and I'm expecting diabetes. My mother says I'm lazy, but to her I say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but a nap never hurt anybody. You know how many things we wouldn't have if it weren't for lazy people? There'd be no clicker, no clapper, no recliner. Some of our coolest inventions have been stolen and twisted by busy people, twisted to their own demented ends. Lazy people invented the escalator, a veritable stairway to heaven. Will carry you with all of your belongings to the top floor of any building with no energy expended. Busy people took that stairway to heaven, cut it in thirds, threw it in reverse, and put it in the gym, and now thousands of busy people slave away, flight after flight, getting absolutely nowhere because there is no escape from Planet Fitness. My neighbor Ed just installed a lap pool on his patio. That's an 8-man jacuzzi, Ed. Turn on the jets and phone some friends. Life is too short to be all alone, thrashing around like Michael Phelps on Red Bull. Even he knew when it was time to just chill out and smoke a bong. I went to my class reunion recently. I saw my friend Tim there. In high school, Tim was a real firecracker. He was always blowing off class to drink and smoke pot. And he'd rather lie to you than tell you the truth any day of the week just for fun. Once he asked me for $5, and I knew it was for pot, but I just wanted to hear what he would come up with, so I asked him what it was for. He said, my mother forgot to give me lunch money. I said, Tim, for Christ's sakes, why don't you just say it's for pot? Your mother is the lunch lady. He was at the reunion. He was looking good. I said, Tim, it's great to see you. Tell me about your life. He said, Kristin, I quit drinking. I quit smoking pot. I have a great job, a big house, a beautiful wife, and 3 lovely children on the honor roll. I said, that's wonderful, Tim. I'm so happy for you. He said, yeah, still having a little trouble with the lying, though. I also saw my friend Rhonda at the reunion. Every comic should have a friend like Rhonda. She always says the wrong thing. I never know what she'll say, but I always bring a pen. She gave me this necklace. I said, thank you so much, Rhonda. It's beautiful. Where did you get it? She said, I bought it at a fundraiser for a battered women's shelter. I told the lady, I really wish I could buy more, but my husband would kill me. I don't think she realized what she said till I took out the pen. Once we were at my house having coffee. I told her we had to be quiet. My husband was upstairs, recovering from a vasectomy. When he finally came down, she patted him on the back and said, congratulations on the vasectomy. That takes balls. After high school, I went on to study accounting. But for our tax accounting final, we had to prepare a tax return, and Auntie Kristin was out a little late the night before. So I filed an extension. The following semester, I became Bentley's only English major. was good. I dated a really cute Latino guy from my English class. He invited me to a family cookout. At one point, we got separated, so I went to look for the bathroom. I accidentally opened a bedroom door and found him in there kissing another girl. His cousin. I wanted to leave the room unnoticed, but I couldn't stop staring. It was like watching the Donnie and Marie show gone horribly wrong. Finally, he saw me, so I said, "Rudolfo, she's your cousin." But he said, "You do not understand. My family is from Peru, and we do that there." It's a cultural thing, I guess. So I left, and on the way out, I keyed his car and let the air out of his tires, 'cause my family is from Waltham. And we do that there. I've had a lot of different jobs over the years. I tried selling real estate, but my real estate career came to an abrupt end when a couple whose house I was trying to sell came home and found two people having sex in the dining room. It was really awkward going back for my earring. I worked for a cell phone company for a while. I can't tell you which one, though, because they can hear me now. Pretty sure cell phones are responsible for ADD. Between the talking, texting, and video games, no one can pay attention for more than 30 seconds at a time. But the other day, I realized that they know this. If you look closely at a cell phone bill, you'll see that one of those surcharges is actually a prescription for Ritalin. Last year, I lived in Texas with a friend. While I was in Texas, I worked in an Asian fusion restaurant. One day, I delivered food to the wrong table, and the sushi chef gave me a dirty look like, "Remember Pearl Harbor, round eye." Which is weird, because he's Mexican. So, I don't know. A lot of different jobs. Couldn't stay working in the restaurant, though. There's a lot of kids there. Working with kids was going to lower my IQ by 10 points. They have the common sense of an extra in a Final Destination movie. One day, one of the young waiters snorted a packet of sugar. I asked him, "Why would you snort sugar?" And he said, "'Cause Sweet and Low has a horrible aftertaste." It's not like my own kids are much smarter. My daughter, Heather, likes to date the bad boys. The current one is the worst yet. I thought maybe she was too close to the situation and couldn't see it. So last weekend, I sat her down and I said, "Heather, what are you doing? Are you going to hang out with the married, alcoholic, homeless, suicidal guy who lives in the trailer by the river?" She said, "Mom, that sounds horrible. It's a lake." It's mostly women in my family. But that's okay, because the women in my family eventually turn into men. It starts with an errant chin hair in your early 30s, girls. By the time we reach 70, well, the Monday night bridge game looks like a meeting of the Taliban. So, I went to see my great Aunt Harriet the other day, and she was sporting a full goatee and mustache. I thought maybe she didn't know it was there until she started stroking it, like it was a beloved pet she never had to let out. Her own personal chinchilla. I asked her if she wanted me to take her to get it waxed, but she said she couldn't see it, so she didn't care what anybody thought. I said, "You rock on, Aunt Harriet. You keep a stiff and hairy upper lip." That's good. I have another daughter, Jillian. If any of you are at an age where you're still bringing home guys for your parents to meet, Do Auntie Kristin a favor and don't bring home ugly people. I know that love is blind, but your parents still have to sit across the table and choke down the meatloaf. I remember one day when my daughter was 15, she called me from school and she said, "Mom, can Jamie come over for dinner?" I wasn't a big fan of Jamie because he was 18. My daughter was only 15. He had dropped out of school. He had long hair, a pierced lip, and a police record. And he was probably trying to get jiggy with my baby, so I was not a fan. But ladies, this advice is for you. You can never let your daughter know that you think the boy she's bringing home for dinner is an asshole, or you will be calling him by a far worse name, and that's son-in-law. So I said, absolutely, Jillian, bring Jamie over for dinner. My mother could tell that it was going to be a hard night for me, so she tried to give me some advice. She said, Kristin, instead of thinking of Jamie as a felonious, long-haired, lip-piercing, baby-boinking dropout, perhaps you could think of him as an injured woodland creature that Jill is bringing home for you to nurture back to health like she did when she was 11. And that turned out to be solid advice. When Jamie came to the door, I hit him over the head with a skillet, buried him in the backyard, and told my daughter he went to live on a farm. The meatloaf went down fine. All right, thank you very much, everybody. I'm Kristin O'Brien, your host this evening. Are you all having a good time? Clap if you're having a good time. This is a great way to end 2016, I think. I'm going to do a few more minutes of time before we bring up your headliner. I was talking about jobs earlier and all the different jobs that I've done, but my favorite job is stand-up comedy. But stand-up's not always as glamorous as it seems here at Amazing Things. Once at a show, a heckler yelled out, "You suck." Thank God my husband was there. He yelled back, "Not nearly as much as you might think." My husband's like an underwire bra. He should be supportive, but really he's just irritating. I do love stand-up. I'm always looking for stage time. So naturally, when a friend asked if I would do the naked show, I said sure. And then I thought, what if that's not just a catchy title? I looked into it, and it is more than just a catchy title. It's actually comedians up on stage in the nude, trying to make you laugh at what they're saying. Now, if any of you are into naked stand-up, more power to you. That's awesome. You'll never find Auntie Kristin on the naked stage. This is a story about why. I did a show a few months ago, fully clothed. At the end of the show, this hairdresser came up to me and he said, "Oh my God, you are so funny, but we have to do something with your hair. It's distracting. The third grade called and they would like their bangs back." Right? Well, if some of you are distracted by my third grade bangs, no one's going to be paying any attention once they get a look at the giant 80s hippie bush. That is where I'm going with the surf. You're not up for just, It's only been in the last few years that I've become aware that I am the custodian of the last known surviving giant 80s hippie bush in captivity in North America. I became aware while visiting a friend in Texas. She came into the bathroom to bring me a towel. She took one look and she said, "Oh my God, it's Sasquatch." Girl, that is a secret Victoria couldn't keep. Now, I know the young girls are vajazzling, but with you, I guess we could just decorate the Christmas tree. You do know that even Republican men don't like the Bushes anymore. The next thing I knew, I found myself involved in my first lesbian encounter. She just dropped her drawers and showed me the goods. Hers was perfectly shaved, all except for this little mustache. Wasn't a generous Geraldo number like yours either, sir. No, it was not. It's just a little tiny, thin, Speedy Gonzales-looking thing. Pepe Le Pew. But before I could ask any questions, Speedy just sped off. She returned a moment later with a pair of scissors and a razor. She said, "Girl, shave yourself and behave yourself." I don't know why she sounded like Oprah when she said that. But when Oprah speaks, America listens. I did as I was told. 3 days later, I broke out in a nasty case of razor rash. It was like an aerial view of Mr. T with a sunburn. Every time I looked down, I swear I heard, "I pity the fool." It's not maintaining that. I voted Mr. T off of the island. And now the giant 80s hippie bush, or Jeb. As I like to refer to him in public, Jeb Bush. He's back for a second term as governor of Virginia. My friend and I were in a restaurant discussing Jeb Bush's second term as governor of Virginia when a woman at the table beside us chimed in. She said, "Excuse me, miss, but I heard you talking about Jeb Bush. Do you know him?" I said, "We are close. In fact, he's my first cousin, once removed." Other people don't seem to like him very much, but after a while, he really just grew on me. All right, thank you very much, everybody. You guys are awesome.